in the space in front of you, imagine Buddhas and Bodhisattvas made of light, dynamic in motion. They're seated on cushions in front of thrones, like puja tables, if you will. Not in front of thrones, in front of like tables on thrones. Teaching text, debating, doing what holy beings do. And you imagine, if I don't change my habits of body, speech, and mind, then I will remain perpetually suffering. And not only that, I will not be able to help beings mature spiritually and free themselves from their own suffering. So you develop sort of a healthy sense of fear. You know, what if I really got trapped in that kind of process just endlessly? And then you develop a sense of trust or faith in these figures and what they represent and how they're defined, the kinds of realizations they have. And you think that if these beings have transcended that kind of suffering cycle and are able to help others perfectly, then they're a good place to dedicate my energies toward. And I want to become like them. So I want to respond to people's needs. I want to be able to read people correctly. I want to put my interests second. And I'm willing to do all the work that it takes to develop those skills, even if it's painful. Can you imagine all the beings surrounding you and the continuity of your lives stretching out behind you? And all beings are in the form of humans. And you think of all the regrets. You regret the actions of body, speech, and mind that harm beings directly and indirectly, and show disrespect or sort of quote unquote harm holy beings. So we take the lives of living beings, and we steal from living beings, and we misuse our sexuality. And we lie, and we're harsh, and we're divisive, and we gossip. That's the one I'm definitely guilty of. And then we have maliciousness, like ill will, ill intent, and we covet what people have. And we hold wrong views about, in this context, about Dharma specifically. So we have nihilistic views and eternalistic views. We deny, certain fundamental concepts from from Dharma without even considering the arguments for them. So you can think about all the actions today, yesterday, day before, stretching out kind of infinitely. And then you can assume you've done the worst of the worst. And you just feel regret, like a wish that you hadn't done something. And if you have a mala, then you can even just say, I regret that, I regret that, I regret that, I regret that. I regret this, and that and this. And we just spend some time trying to really develop a sense of regret. And then think, above the crown of your head, seated upon a lotus moon seat of Vajrasattva, Father and Mother. Their bodies are white. Each has one face and two arms. He holds a dorje and bell. She a curved knife and skull cup. They're embracing each other. The father is adorned with 6 mudras, the mother with 5. He sits in the Vajra posture and she in the lotus. Vajrasattva is your guru, the holy mind of all the Buddhas, the Dharmakaya, who out of unbearable compassion embraces you and all other sentient beings, and appears in this form to purify yourself and all others. On a moon disk of Vajrasattva's heart stands a hum, encircled by a garland of the 100-syllable mantra. A powerful stream of white nectar flows from the hum mantra garland, and you are cleansed of all sickness, spirit harm, negative karma, and obscurations. Another mantra. Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA SUTOGAYO MEVAVA SUPOGAYO MEVAVA ANURAKTO MEVAVA ZARASINA MEPAYASA ZARAKAMA SUSAME SIDDHI SHRIYAM GURUHUM HAHA BHAGAVAN SARVATATHAGATA VAJRA VAJRA Mahasmaya Sava Om Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva Badida, Dino Mevoa, Zutagayo Mevoa, Zubugayo Mevoa, Anurakto Mevoa, Sarasini Mepuyosa, Sarakama Sesame, Sijan Shim Puruhum, Ha, Bhagavan, Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam, Asmezava. Om Vajrasattva Samaya, Manubalaya, Vajrasattva Dino Badida, Dino Mevoa, Zutagayo Mevoa, Subhakaya Mevoa, Anuraka Mevoa, Sarasini Mepuyosa, Sarakama Sesame, Sijan Shim Puruhum, Ha, Bhagavan. Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam, Asmezava, Om Om Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya. Vajrasattva Dino Badida, Dino Mevoa, Zutagayo Mevoa, Subhakaya Mevoa, Anuraka Mevoa, Sarasini Mepuyosa, Sarakama Sesame, Sijan Shim Puruhum, Ha, Bhagavan. Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam, Asmezava. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa Sutagaya Mevoa Subhagaya Mevoa Anurakto Mevoa Sarasina Mepuyosa Sarakama Susame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ha Hu Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmi Savam Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa Sutagaya Mevoa Subhagaya Mevoa Anuragta Mevoa, Zarazina Mepuyosa, Zarakama Sitame, Siddhan Shiyam Guruhum, Ha, Hu, Bhagavan. Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam, Asmaya Sava, Om De, Om Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dino Badida, Jino Mevoa, Sutagaya Mevoa, Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa. Zarazina Mepuyosa, Zarakama Sitame, Siddhan Shiyam Guruhum, Ha, Hu, Bhagavan. Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam, Asmaya Sava, Om De. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa Sutagaya Mevoa Subhagaya Mevoa Anurakto Mevoa Sarasina Mevoa Zarakama Sesame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ha Hu Bhagavan Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa Sutagaya Mevoa Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa, Zarasini Mevoa, Saragama Sesame, Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha, Sarvatagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa, Sutagaya Mevoa, Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa, Sarasini Mevoa, Saragama Sesame, Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha, Sarvatagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa, Sutagaya Mevoa, Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa, Sarasina Mevoa, Sarakama Sesame, Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha, Hu, Bhagavan. Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa, Sutagaya Mevoa, Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa, Sarasini Mevoa, Sarakama Sesame, Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha, Ho, Bhagavan, Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa, Sutagaya Mevoa, Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa, Sarasini Mevoa, Sarakama Sesame, Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha, Ho, Bhagavan, Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa, Sutagaya Mevoa, Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa, Sarasini Mevoa, Sarakama Sesame, Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha, Ho, Bhagavan. Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Badida Jino Mevoa, Sutagaya Mevoa, Subhagaya Mevoa, Anuragta Mevoa, Sarasini Mevoa, Sarakama Sesame, Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha, Ho, Bhagavan. Saratagata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhavam Asmaya Sava Om Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva DENOPHA DIDO Suzukayam Nivoa Suzukayam Nivoa ANURAKTO Nivoa Zarasidhim PHET TSAME SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA VAJRA SMAYA Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA DIDO Suzukayam Nivoa ANURAKTO Nivoa Zarasidhim PHET SHRIYAM KURU Sorry, the Vajra MAME Vajra Om Vajra Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Vadita Jinameva Sudagayameva Supagayameva Anaractameva Sarasini Mepiyos Zarkama Sitsame Sijan Shriam Puruhum Sorry, the Vajra MAME Vajra Boma Om Vajra Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Vadita Jinameva Sudagayameva Supagayameva Anaractameva Sarasini Mepiyos Zarkama Sitsame Siddhan Shriam Kuruhum Bhagavan Sarvatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasava Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasava Dinabatida Jinameva Sudagayam Nava Sudukayam Nava Anaraktam Nava Sarasinyam Nipyata Sarakama Susame Siddhan Shriam Kuruhum Bhagavan Sarvatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasava Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasava Dinapatida Jinameva Sutagayameva Supagayameva Anaraktameva Zarasim Napyota Sarakama Suzame Siddhim Guru Bhagavan Sarvata Vajramami Vajravam Asmazavam Om Vajrasava 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 Om Vajrasava 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 Oh, from the crown of your head, Guru Vajrasattva says, Son of the race, your negativities, obscurations, and broken and damaged pledges have been completely purified. Think, before Guru Vajrasattva, I vow never again to commit those negative actions from which I can easily abstain. Not to commit for a day, an hour, at least a few seconds, those negative actions from which I find it difficult to abstain. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva and Mother, you completely accept that vow. And they dissolve into light and descend to your head, to your crown, to the Om. And fills your body with white light, purifying all the negative karma obscurations created by the body. And then descends to the Ah of the throat, filling the body with red light, purifying all the negative karma obscurations created by speech. Then descends heart, the womb, filling the body with blue light, purifying all the negative karma obscurations created by the mind. And then imagining your body, the Om Ahum, filling the body with white, red, and blue light simultaneously, purifying all negative karma obscurations created by body, speech, and mind. Imagining light dissolves into you and you become inseparable from Guru Vajrasattva. And your body arises clear as crystal, and all the bodies of living beings all arise as clear as crystal. There's no suffering anywhere in the universe. And you think I, the doer of virtue, the one who does virtue, is empty of existing inherently. And the virtue created is empty. And the resulting happiness of that virtue is empty. And the dedicator of merit is empty. And the merit dedicated is empty. And the action of dedicating is empty. And the resulting happiness is empty. And then you think, dedicate this merit to long lives of all spiritual masters. May they have long and healthy lives. May I always, from my side, see them as Buddhas, see the best in their qualities. And may I always be inseparable from them. May I always work to fulfill their wishes to the best of my ability. And dedicate, we're never separated from the teachings of LAMA YESHE. And because that's the school of Buddhism we're in, and all the other schools, if you have a connection with the Sakyas and Nyingmas and Kagyus, then we're never separated from those teachings. We're separated from the path of renunciation, bodhicitta, pure view and emptiness, 2 stages of tantric practice. May all those that think about us, remember us, dream of us, speak to us, hear our voices, see our bodies, hear our images, speak our names, touch our bodies, love us, hate us, hurt us, up to the point of killing us. May they never be born in more realms. May they always be qualified Mahayana teachers and friends, and may they become Buddhists in a very instant. So we dedicate that however anyone treats us, whether they make offerings to us, whether they destroy us, whether they're indifferent to us, may that be a cause for them to become a Buddha in that very moment. May all the environmental problems of this earth instantly cease, in order that those who practice the Dharma continue to practice peace, those who are about to begin practicing Dharma may begin in peace, and those yet to hear of the Dharma may hear of it in peace. And may all quarrel, wars, famine, different forms of oppression, suffering. So Afghanistan is kind of in the news, and there's other places all around the world, the Uyghurs, everywhere. So may all those things cease this very moment. And may all non-human beings may they be free from every kind of suffering, have every kind of happiness, become Buddhas in that very moment. So if we think about the animals we eat and we wear and exploit for entertainment, fish, birds, insects, everyone. So may they have every kind of happiness. May all the mundane needs of beings be met. So everyone needs healthcare and food and companionship and transportation and money and all that kind of stuff. May everyone have everything they need. And may all the super mundane, all the spiritual goals of beings be met. So may people become nuns and monks and make holy arts and study and memorize and debate and all that kinds of things you can do in Buddhism. May they be able to do those things. May we be able to support them if ever the opportunity arises. And may all the institutions that support spiritual practice, like TITHA which has brought us all together, and all the different organizations, so Maitripa College in Portland, Oregon, the other places. And may they have every resource they need. People, power, praise, money, whatever they need to function. May institutions that support human beings improving, may they have what they need. And then as we've done this half-hour exercise, many people have died, found out they are dying, begun the process of dying. If they can become well, then may they become well in this very moment. And if they can't, then may they transition peacefully into the bardo state. May they become enlightened there. And if they cannot become enlightened there, may they be reborn, qualified as humans, to become qualified Mahayana teachers and friends and become Buddhas in that very moment. So in the US in particular, but all over the world, all the people with COVID, and then all the other many things that are happening. So may they become instantly well. And if they can't, may they transition peacefully. And then at the very least, no matter what, then may all beings have a kind, warm heart. Because all this elaboration, all this ritual, all this stuff is for that very basic purpose, to develop our tenderness, our patience, kindness, wisdom, all those kinds of things. So may we be able to accomplish that in this very moment. Okay, I've kept you a little over. So thank you so much. Nice seeing you all. I'll see you again. It's my plan anyways.